One of the most important aspects to any trade in terms of risk, being able to take on heat, in other words, unrealized loss, is the timing that you use to enter the market with. Now, by timing, I mean, are you overpaying for the option? Are you getting as good a deal as possible to scoop up the position that you want to build? And this was exactly the case with the XLF as I looked at the strongest corner of the S&P. What was the strongest corner of the SPY S&P? It was XLF. So this is where we take the broader index, we dial it down to the sector. Now the sector may not look like much right now in terms of its structure, but when you compare XLF to XLV to XLK, the clarity starts to reveal itself and you realize that the flow we're seeing into XLF, well, that's reflecting what we're seeing in the expectations for higher interest rates, which, by the way, taper is a way of seeing higher interest rates. So I'm not talking about 2023, I'm talking about 2021 and how XLF will benefit. The 37 strike cost $1.86 to $1.95 to build. Now this is important because as a position loses value on a massive gap down, just as I scaled in, I'm open to scaling out. And this left all but the conservative position for me. In other words, aggro, cut it loose at the paper cut. Moderate, cut it loose at the paper cut. Don't let small losses edge into, I can't get out now, I'm losing too much territory. That will be the beginning of the end of your account. So the 37 conservative trigger at $1.86 managed to survive this gap, right? And again, if I'm not conscious about what I'm paying, these percentage-based stops that many traders tend to use, but what they forget is what you pay is what is going to, of course, impact that percentage, right? Okay, so $1.86. Now, fast forward 13 days, and yes, we sat in this for 13 days because once you survive the onslaught of selling on the 20th, well, you know where your price-based stop could be. You know what your percentage stop is for sure. And now we want to see if the trade can follow through. And sure enough, first target was hit on the 27th. As we hit the 38.75, we scale out of 50% of our position. Now this is scaling out about $2.60. But notice I said scale out because we want to be open for even higher highs, like the gap up we see on the 27th, which allowed us to scale out. Now we want to see, with a break-even stop, how much higher we could see the market. Remember, scaling out is absolutely one of the most important practical things that a trend trader could do. And along with that comes sort of this ratcheting of risk as we're still looking to higher highs potentially, or maybe just a revisit to the initial target. Either way, we still have a position on. We can still take advantage of bullishness while no longer risking the same amount, cut the position size in half by realizing a profit and going to a break-even stop. So that's where we sit on XLF, $1.86 out at about 260, and let's just see how much higher is high. And that's not a bad return to the upside considering the shape of this market in terms of the chop, the distribution market trend. So we're going to look for naturally tighter targets in an environment like this. And that's what this environment requires traders to do, to adapt. And this is one way we're doing it with the XLF.